Good morning and welcome to our gathering at Unity Halton Peel in Ontario. For those of you who may be joining us later, welcome. And our mission for the year 2026, please express this with me: to lovingly inspire transformation and be of service to the world. And our daily word this morning is being read by Ruth Ellen Henderson. Ruth Ellen, please go ahead.
Thanks, Patty. Title is Inner Peace for Sunday, April 12th. Secure in the presence of God, I am peaceful and strong. I find comfort in knowing I am never alone because God is always with me and within me. Whatever I am called to face, I have inner resources to handle it peacefully. Peace dwells in the silence of my soul. When I feel troubled, I turn within. I breathe deeply and picture a peaceful setting, a trickling stream, the wind gently rustling the leaves, or the soft flicker of candlelight. I let tranquility sink deep into my heart. As I leave the quietness of prayer, I take peace with me. I am ready to face the day. As a peaceful person, I know that peace is my very nature. Harmony is my purpose and my goal. I seek serene people, places, and experiences. My soul feels at home everywhere as the peace of my heart flows outward to bless everyone it touches. And from 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 2, may grace and peace be yours in abundance in the knowledge of God and of Jesus our Lord.
Amen. And thank you, Ruth Ellen. Beautiful.
You're welcome.
And our opening song, God Within Me. Music and lyrics by Denise Rosdale.
I love with the heart of God within me. I sing with the voice of God within me. I rest in the peace of God within me. Everything praises God within me. I know with the mind of God within me. I pray with the faith of God within me. I trust in the power of God within me. Everything praises God within me. I am a safe and loving place, born of beauty and amazing grace. I laugh with the joy of God within me. I shine with the light of God within me. I am who I am 'cause of God within me. Everything praises God. Everything praises God. Everything praises God within me. Everything praises God. Everything praises God. Everything praises God. Everything praises God within me. within me.
I love that song. So, an affirmation for the year 2026, an ideal prayer for Unity Halton Peel. Let's say this together. We at Unity Halton Peel are blessed with an abundantly thriving community. It is done, and so it is. And during the month of April, a thought to remember, you are eternal expression of the universal flow, and there is no beginning and no end to you. And let's join together with the April affirmations. I'll read it once and then ask you to repeat it with me. Inner peace. Breathing in peace, breathing out peace. And together, breathing in peace, breathing out peace. Faith. With every step forward, I am faith-filled and faithful. Together, with every step forward, I am faith-filled and faithful. Wholeness. Attuned to divine life, I heal and live fully. Attuned to divine life, I heal and live fully. Strength. By the power of spiritual strength, I stand steady and ready. By the power of spiritual strength, I stand steady and ready. Harmony. Centered in divine love, I am harmonious presence. And together. Centered in divine love, I am harmonious and present. And while you spend time in prayer and meditation, please include Unity of London and Unity of New Westminster in BC. I love this. Love flows through me to bless others. And I welcome Reverend Dr. Jane Simmons with us this morning, our Minister of Record. Welcome, Jane, and thank you for being here. I will stop sharing so that it's all yours.
It's all mine.
It's all yours.
Well, it's lovely to be with you all. I always enjoy my time with you, and today is no exception to that. I'm just so happy to be here. So let me ask the question, is there anyone here who is worried about the future in some way? Anyone? It could be about your own personal future, or it could be about the future of the country, or perhaps a nearby neighboring country. Could be worrying about the planet, or your loved ones, or your children, your grandchildren. So we can put all of that in one area. Simona's raising her hand. I'm taking that as someone who is fessing up, because I'm fessing up myself here. I'm definitely one of those people who worries. I'm frankly about all those things. All those things. So this morning, I want to invite all of us to take a closer look at what we can do about that. So if you're up for that, let's carry on. Unity's third principle tells us that the thoughts that we routinely think end up creating how we experience our life, our experience of reality. It goes through the filter of those thoughts. And I'm here to tell you that those thoughts can also change our future, because the best way to change the future is to create the future. My talk title is Romancing the Future. By romancing, I mean attracting, cultivating, courting, wooing, if you will, nurturing something into existence. And this idea of romancing the future comes from Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's really big on transformation. That's his thing, and about creating a new future. So he gives us some clues as to how we can do that, and we're going to look at those today. So there's a saying in the New Thought world that worry is the misuse of imagination. And I would totally agree with that because here's what I've noticed. My imagination can easily run wild. It can conjure up all kinds of scenarios of things that could ever possibly go wrong. In fact, I am convinced I could be a highly successful fiction writer by revealing the contents of my mind. Always making up stories. There's a storyteller in my head, quite fond of spinning tales of doom. And of all the things I worry about, how many of them actually come to pass? Typically, whatever it is I'm imagining is way worse than what actually ends up happening. I'm reminded of Mark Twain saying, I'm an old man, I've known many great troubles, but most of them never happened. And that's been my experience. But there's a reason why we do this. There's a reason why we do this. It's because we have this internal survival mechanism called a negativity bias. And what that means is that our brain, specifically the reptilian brain, is equipped to look for danger. That's its job. We're designed to notice, to focus on the negative rather than the positive. Rick Hanson, the author of the book Buddha's Brain, it's a great book, he uses the analogy of Velcro and Teflon to explain how this works. Since our brain's priority is survival, it's looking for threats rather than rainbows. It's always on the lookout for what could go wrong. So positive things in our field of awareness tend to slide off of us like Teflon. We take them for granted, in fact. While focusing on the negative, we hold on to it like Velcro, as if our life depended upon it. Because guess what? It does. It's more important for our survival to see that there's a crocodile lurking in the water than it is for us to know that that water is safe enough to drink. You see, the crocodile is the more immediate threat. So we need to notice that threat, and it sticks to our awareness like Velcro, whereas the cleanliness of the water, the beauty of the surroundings, those things can slide off like Teflon. So a negativity bias, it has a positive intent. It's about self-protection. It's very helpful when we want to go for a swim. Or in the past, it was vital when we had saber-toothed tigers roaming around. However, in this day and age, we can so easily be triggered by paper tigers. Traffic jams, a thoughtless remark, someone's judgment, breaking news, blues. Especially if whatever happens, we feel powerless to change it. Khalil Gibran notes that it's not thinking about the future that causes the anxiety, it's trying to control it and not feeling in control. So believing things are out of our control causes a great deal of fear, worry, anxiety, and for me, that will morph into anger. It will actually come out as anger. And when all of that happens, guess what? We become emotionally hijacked, perpetually in survival mode, you see, stuck in the clutches of the reptilian brain or lizard brain, it's sometimes called, focusing only on the negative, feeling threatened by it, making up stories about it, gathering evidence that confirms what our negativity bias is telling us, and in the midst of all that, feeling helpless to do anything about it. I recently watched myself turn into a raging maniac, full-on lizard brain, when I got stuck in a horrific traffic jam gridlock. Now, I live in a small town. This doesn't happen to me too often, but I was trying to get back to my small town from where I was. And it took me 15 stoplights to turn left onto the highway that would take me home because people kept blocking my lane. And I was unable to fix this. Nothing I could do. I was stuck, and people would come in and block the lane while my light was green. And then they'd move out of the way when it turned red. And there I sat, and there I sat. And that triggered my lizard brain even more. Now, I wish I could tell you that I stayed calm. I stayed connected to my heart. I was deep in the knowing this is a blessing in some way. I would be lying if I told you that. Um, I that state I was in, everything went out the window, you see. My belief in one presence, one power, that nothing and no one is against me thing, nah, all of it just tossed out the window. And it took me a while to calm down, to remember what I know to be true, which is this. What I'm focusing on will grow, will expand. And if I'm looking through a lens that says these people are blocking my way and I can't go anywhere, or maybe I'm looking through a lens that says I'm in such fear for our world, what's going to happen? There's nothing I can do about it except worry and stew and feel helpless. Or if I look through the lens of corporations are destroying this planet and I have no power to stop them. Can you feel what happens when you're looking at life through that belief? When I do, I'll have a much different experience of life than if I focus instead on the deeper heart intelligence that says this. I'm a divine being. I'm here to claim the truth of who I am. I'm here to be the change that I'm seeking in the world. Can you feel the difference in that? When I'm focusing on my thoughts, whatever they are, it matters. It matters when I'm focusing, especially if there's some emotion behind it. That's when it really gathers speed. I mean, the Buddha said it best, what we think we become, what we think we become. We're all part of the oneness of life, all of us, every one of us. We have access to a deeper source that can transform our lives and can help transform our world, those around us. And we have a choice of what we focus on. We have a choice. Unity's first two principles tell us there's one presence, and we are connected to that presence. We're each an inlet and an outlet of the divine. Breathe that in. We're inlets and we're outlets of the divine. And we're here to make a difference in our world. Because if all of that is true, if we really believe these foundational principles, there is something we can do about transforming our lives. So let me just ask you, are you ready to step into the truth of who you are? Are you willing to be the change that you're seeking in the world? Are you prepared to romance the future that you want to see into manifestation? So just nod your head if it's true for you, if you're willing to do all that stuff, because that's the work. And the first thing I want to do is catch myself when I'm stuck in the negativity bias moment, hearing the voices of doom, being run by rigid thought patterns, angry, worrying, and in the midst of all that, to just pause. To awaken in the middle of the storyteller's yarn and be able to pause, to step back. There is such power in the pause. And it's what can give us some spaciousness in order to choose to respond rather than jumping into reactivity. And when we live from that spaciousness, it doesn't mean we're disengaging from whatever's happening. It means we stop fighting it. We stop resisting it. We just take a pause for a moment. And when we're able to do that, now we can stop looking around for who's to blame. Whose fault is this? You see, somebody must be at fault. Because when I blame someone else, I'm at the mercy of whoever or whatever I'm assigning that blame to. Whatever their actions are, if they're to blame, there's nothing I can do about their actions. And so that brings up more feelings of helplessness and polarized thinking, us and them thinking. So they're the problem. They're the problem. There's a better way. There is a better way for us to work with this. And it's time for us. It's time to up our game, to start acting as if our unity principles are true, to move out of this powerlessness into who we've come here to be and to help to usher in the new future. I'm here to tell you it can be done. We have way showers who have demonstrated what I'm talking about. One of my, here we go. When I blame someone, I hand my power over to them. But Mahatma Gandhi is really one of my personal heroes. He's an example of someone who romanced a new future into manifestation. He served as a willing conduit for peaceful, nonviolent transformation to emerge. See? Now, you know what? He was not always so peaceful at all. As a young man, he was extremely hot-tempered. He learned to overcome the anger. He was able to convert the passion behind the anger into compassion. He says, I've learned through bitter experience the one supreme lesson to conserve my anger. And as heat conserved transmutes into energy, our anger can be controlled and transmuted into a power which can move the world. That's good news for us. That's the work. So we need to clean up our own backyard, take care of our own unfinished business, healing, integrating any unconscious shadow material that we're projecting out onto the world. As Gandhi says, he couldn't expect to put out the fires of anger and hatred elsewhere if they were, in his own heart, in his own home, smoldering away. He had to work there first. And that's the work for those of us who have a desire and a willingness to assist in the emergence of a kinder world, a new paradigm of living. So he was able to overcome his anger through his spiritual practice. For him, it was Hindu chanting, meditation. Now, we don't just swallow the anger if that's what we're feeling. And we certainly do not use our spiritual practice as a bypass. That doesn't work at all. But we have a power within us that can liberate and transmute the energy of that anger and fear to something that can be a blessing. It can move from a curse to a blessing. And we can channel it into a passion for making the world a better place. And when I look at Gandhi and his wisdom, I'm seeing a real David and Goliath story here. Here's this tiny little man in a loincloth. He's taken on the whole British Empire with nonviolence. And if you check your history books, you'll find the British Empire not too big on nonviolence. Man, they were brutal. So through his inner work, as well as his outer leadership, he was able to demonstrate the power of love in action, transforming anger into compassion, moving from lizard brain to wizard brain by tapping into the infinite intelligence and the stillness of his heart. I became aware of just how much I was worrying about the future of this planet, this country that I live in, and I decided not to push that away. Here's what I did instead. I set a timer for 10 minutes. I gave myself permission to worry about everything that could possibly go wrong. And when that timer went off, I stopped. That was it. Then I set the timer for 20 minutes and I practiced going to my heart's wisdom, feeling self-compassion, listening to what the heart is guiding me around all these things I've been worrying about. And you know what? It worked. It worked. I became very peaceful. I gained clarity on what was mine to do, and I realized this is my version of Gandhi's practice right here. Take 10 minutes, do all your worrying. Take 20 minutes now. Now that's out of our system. Let the heart lead. See, within us, there's an unchanging presence that's awaiting our discovery. And we may have believed that situations, people, problems have power over us, but today, we can deliberately choose to align with that presence, let it work through and as us, move from being reactive to being proactive. As the environmental activist Matthew Fox says, get in touch with the mystic inside. That's the beginning of deep service. You don't want to get into the service part of it until you find what's in here. And that's finding the mystic wizard brain, if you will. Within our hearts, that's the beginning for us. It's an inner transformation, changing our state to one in which we're in alignment with what it is we're seeking to create, seeking to have come forth. And then as we act from that state, now we see it reflected back to us. That's how it works. We have to become the change, and then we see it reflected back. Ernest Holmes, the founder of Science of Mind, he tells a story of a conversation he had with a man. This man was looking to attract a romantic relationship into his life. And so he came to Dr. Holmes with this list of what he was looking for in a wife. He prepared a whole list. This is all the things that I want in a wife. And Dr. Holmes said, well, the day that your reflected image in the spiritual universe measures up to that which you're desiring in a wife, then the wife who ought to be will come. She'll show up. In other words, when we become the change, it will show up in our life and we'll see it mirrored back to us. And we can say this about whatever it is we want to manifest. You know, prayer is not about forcing something to happen. It's about changing our inner state to be in alignment with the change that we're seeking in such a way that it can't help but happen. You see? So it's time for us. It's time for us to stand up and prove these principles that we espouse. If we really believe them, let's put them into practice. So in order to transform the future, I have to pay attention to what I'm creating right now. You see, we're all creative beings. Here's the question. Am I creating a world through my noble, authentic self? Or am I creating my world through my limited identity, the shadow self? Because I'll have a whole different experience of life depending on what I'm creating as and through. As Rumi wrote, yesterday I was clever. I wanted to change the world. Today I'm wise. I'm changing myself. We get to that point in our lives where we see it. So making the transition from outer blame to inner contemplation, it's a huge step. Probably the biggest hurdle for us to make a change. You know, during my raging traffic jam experience, it took me a while to get from lizard to wizard brain. I had some serious heart work to do to move into being a compassionate presence. Luckily for me, I had support in doing that. When Gary found out I was stuck in traffic, my husband Gary, and he was wondering if I might die of old age before he ever saw me again, he stopped everything he was doing at home, put it all aside. He went into a meditative heart space for me, and he stayed there until the gridlock unjammed and I was able to make my way home. And you know what? I could feel his loving support. I could feel it helping to melt the anger away. It was beautiful. And that is the value of spiritual community. We work together on this. We hold each other up. We don't do this work alone. We can't do it alone. We work together with a shared vision. And when we need support, we hold it for each other. We're all in this together. There's a reason why we come together. There's a reason why we've incarnated at this time in our life, in our history, right? There's a reason. The Franciscan nun Ilia Delio, in her book The Unbearable Wholeness of Being, great book, she writes this: we're not strangers in this evolving universe. We are its future. We're not strangers here. We're the future. And I love that. That's the key to change. We have to own our role in this as spiritual beings having a human experience, here to make a difference. We're not strangers on this planet. We are the avenue through which evolutionary change and transformation happens. You are. Every one of us is. And if we want to bring about a kinder, more compassionate world, that paradigm shift, it can only happen through and as us. We can't just leave it for somebody else. So first, can you conceive of a more compassionate future that wants to emerge? We've got to start there. Can you believe it's even possible? We want to be willing to discover what we can't imagine as of yet. Do you feel that potentiality right there, that possibility? Because I have to tell you, that world exists already, right now. When I picture a new future, I'm not creating it. It already exists in the mental realm. I'm choosing it. I'm choosing it. I'm selecting it. So imagine if that future already exists in potentiality and it's calling forth something within you that only you can provide and that's necessary for it to manifest, and it emerges as we romance it into manifestation. Dr. Joe writes, if you believe in the quantum model of reality, then you understand this. Problems, challenges, conditions, adversities in our life, they come from a certain level of consciousness or a certain level of unconsciousness. And as Einstein reminds us, we can't solve a problem at the same level of consciousness that create it. We have to do something different. So here's the key. We have to match our emotional state to the future we want to create. We have to feel the way we're going to feel when it comes to past and act from that feeling. Take the passion, take the intensity of the emotion that you may be feeling, let it be channeled into being the change you seek. We need that level of passion if we're in for the long haul. The word faith, I've said this before, means feel as if the thing happened. We need to practice feeling the way we're going to feel when what we're envisioning comes forth. That's the prerequisite. It's not the end result. We got to start there. And then we have to sustain that feeling until it manifests. We have to take action from that feeling. Make the thought an embodied experience. Bring yourself into agreement with the desired state of consciousness, because we have to be the change before we see it. As Abraham Hicks puts it, I love this, believe in what you want so much it has no choice but to materialize. Think of creating a new future in this way. Think of it as being kind to your future self. Can you feel that? Have you ever heard Jerry Seinfeld talk about morning guy and night guy? Well, night guy likes to stay up late watching television, and he has a talk with himself around midnight where he knows he has to get up early in the morning. He should go to bed. He knows he's going to regret it if he doesn't, if he turns on the movie and just ignores. But night guy says, that's morning guy's problem. And he turns on the movie. And then when he wakes up in the morning, his first thought with only 5 hours sleep is, I hate night guy. This cracks me up. But in the midst of this silliness, there's some Seinfeld style wisdom here. And here's what it is. I don't want to find myself at the end of my life looking back and wondering why 2026 Jane didn't take the steps to bring forth a more compassionate world. I don't want to do that. I would like to be kinder to my future self. I'd like my future self to look back and go, thank God. Thank God we woke up and did this work. I want to be kinder to my future children and not my future children, but my children's future selves and grandchildren's future selves. So I invite you to take some time and imagine you're at the end of your life right now, looking back at the April 2026 version of you. What message would you have for your 2026 self? How can you be kinder to that future self? How can you be kinder to that future self? If you're up for it, there's a bonus question. What might be your greatest regret at the end of your life, looking back? And take steps now to make sure that doesn't happen. Because guess what? Living in regret can become our biggest regret. So pay attention to times that you become emotionally triggered in some way. And when you do, let that feeling come. Remember, emotions have a 90-second lifespan if we let them run their course. And then take time to pause, consult your heart, feel appreciation. Let that feeling be sustained, grow, expand. And that will move you from lizard to wizard brain. That simple practice. And in that state, when you get to that state, ask your heart, is who I'm being right now in alignment with a kinder, more compassionate world that I want to see emerge? What must I transform within myself to serve its emergence? Be like Gandhi. And then how will I feel when it comes to pass? Feel it now. Feel it now. And sustain that feeling until you are a vibrational match for whatever it is you want to bring forth. Feel as if the thing happened. Act as if. Move beyond belief to embodiment and become the change that you are seeking in the world. Your future self will thank you. So let's take a breath together. We don't want to wake up in the morning and say, I hate night person. We don't want to do that. Let's take a moment now and just imagine at the end of your life, looking back with great fondness to this moment. So let's take a moment and do that. Look back to this moment. See it as the moment everything shifted. Wow, that's the moment when I became the change I wanted to see in the world. Feel your future self celebrating you, grateful for you. So we take a breath and we move our attention to the heart space. You can put your hand on your heart if you choose. We bring forth a feeling of appreciation for someone or something that we appreciate. Could be a beloved person in your life, or a cherished pet, or a warm memory. Just choose someone or something that can actually activate a feeling of gratitude within your heart. And let that feeling expand, grow, radiate throughout your body, blessing every cell. And let it radiate beyond the body, as each one of us is creating a coherent energetic field with this high vibration of appreciation. And in this state, we turn to our heart. We ask our heart for guidance. What is one thing I can do right now that can help to bring the future I want to see into being? How can I romance that future? Let me listen for the guidance, knowing that within each one of us is the deeper dimension, the Christ dimension, the one presence, the one power, source, the infinite, whatever we want to call it. It is our connection to the divine. We are not strangers here. We are the future. Here to make a difference. Here to take action from the truth that we know. Think of the beautiful, comforting words from the Old Testament. Here I am, Lord. Here I am. Here to be the one, to be guided, to be shown the way, and to be the change that we seek. For the opportunity to be that source in action. Our hearts continue to widen in gratitude for the one presence, the one power, the truth of our being. And so it is. Amen.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Be careful what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer. My words are prayers, and I am always praying. My words are prayers. I'm careful what I'm saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer. Peacefulness, and I know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer. My life's a prayer, and I am always praying. My life's a prayer. What I'm saying, I choose a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and I know that my God is always there, and I know that God is always there, and every thought becomes a prayer.
Certainly the perfect song for our service this morning. Our thoughts are prayers. And I thank and welcome Diane Riley with us this morning, Unity Prayer Chaplain. And Diane is the lead prayer chaplain, and she is constantly there holding the high watch for us. Please send your request for prayer to praywithdiane@gmail.com, as you see in the slide. And Diane has put a comment in the chat of how to reach her, so you have it after the slide has gone on. And you always have available the Unity Prayer Tower, which prays 24/7 every week, and we send your prayers on to them after being held here for 30 days. So you have prayer people available all the time. Thank you for your constant and consistent donations. It is the lifeline for maintaining a Unity ministry such as our own. We appreciate your support so much, and thank you, thank you, thank you. If we take a moment and share this prayer of gratitude together, divine love, now flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and it is a blessing wherever it goes in the world. And during the month of April, we are supporting Unity Canada. They receive 50% of our outgoing tithe every month. Eden Food for Change, and we also have chosen Canadian Red Cross during the month of April. Honda Canada is tripling any contributions made to Canada Red Cross, and they are ever ready to be immediately available within hours to some of the most difficult disasters across Canada and in the world. And it's just amazing to me how quickly they are able to respond to forest fires and flooding and so on. So thank you, all of you, for your contributions. We continue to support the wider community. If you are joining us for the first time or need a refresh on your newsletter, please sign up by going to our website, unityhaltonpeel.ca. And under the resource tab, you'll find our newsletter. And you'll also see that you can join Unity Canada. It tells you more about how to request a prayer there. So help yourself to looking at our website. You'll also see that in the calendar, I'm getting texts from the world here. Oh, sorry. You'll see in our website that we also have the calendar that you can go on and at any time see what's coming up in the future. Wow. SCS 105, interview of Christian scriptures, course description. So this is coming up from May 6th to June 10th. And I didn't read far enough in advance, but I see that Wendy Carr is the licensed Unity teacher. This is being sponsored by Unity Canada, adult@gmail.com. So I'm pretty sure that when we have Wendy online, we'll hear more about this. Required books, the Bible. I think we can do that. And Borg Marcus J. reading the Bible again for the first time. Interesting, very interesting. So thank you, Wendy Carr. Our Unity virtual conference is coming up May 1st to 3rd. Reverend Jane Simmons and myself are both registered for attending at least the general meeting on this. Any of you can attend. Wendy and Debbie will also be attending, so we are well represented. And let me know if there's anyone else that would like to be part of any part of this. On April 19th, next Sunday, we welcome back Debbie Long, LUT, Finding Peace Through Prayer. Unity is a prayer ministry, and that's one of the things that I have always appreciated. I need prayer warriors in my life. Sunday, April 26th, we have Reverend Barbara G. Schreiner Trudell joining us again. Always a joy to have her with us, and the joy of becoming is her topic. We'll take, as we draw our session today to an end, we take a moment to bless children. So together, children and youth of Unity and of the world, we love you, we bless you, and we appreciate you just the way you are. I am grateful for the children of the world. The prayer of protection will be our closing prayer today. Together, the light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. And wherever we are, God is. I am divine. And our closing song with Sue K. Riley, I Choose Love.
Peace in my life is growing because choose love. Love's always present. It's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one tie that binds us, that can't be undone. I choose love. I choose love. Peace in my family is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one loving family, sharing one son. I choose love. Peaceful our planet is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one choice unites us. Let this be the one. I choose love. I choose love. I choose love.
Thank you for joining us this morning, and we look forward to having you with us again next Sunday. In the meantime, if you'd like to review this morning's session again, it'll be on our YouTube channel within the next 3 hours. Thank you. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.